Hello everybody and welcome to the Ultimate Racing Championships, and we're finally here for round one of the season here in Australia, starting off tonight with the Tier 2 race, and later on in the evening we'll have the Xbox One Tier 1 race and then the PS4 race. Those times are going to be 7 and 8:30. Joining me today is going to be James Baker, and we're going to be talking through hopefully an interesting opening race of the season here in Tier 2.
Yeah, hopefully we do see an interesting race in Tier 2 and Tier 1 of course later on as well. But if you joined us for the first time, welcome along. This is going to be 21 rounds spanned across more than 21 weeks. It's going to be a very, very long season for these guys. It's going to endure them. It's the absolute limits. And we start, of course, upside down in Australia. It's going to be a fantastic season. Let's hope the Tier 2 guys give us something to remember.
Yep, and we will just quickly talk through the teams that we've got here. So in Tier 2, we do have... one second. In Tier 2, we have ERL Black. They're going to be here. They're in the Renault, so watch out for the two Renaults there. Then we've got Tempet Shoot Racing in the Red Bull, Sync Motorsport in the Mercedes, Team Shazoo in the Ferrari, Team LCR in the Sauber, Livid Racing in the Haas, Thrive Esports in the McLaren, BPRL in the Toro Rosso, 183 Esports in the Williams, and Team PFL in the Force India as well, but don't know what's happened there. None of their drivers are here today. But should be an interesting season. Quite a lot of different competitive teams there, haven't we? And I guess we're going to see the exact order in this qualifying session. It's a bit unknown at the moment.
It is unknown. We did have the pre-season testing, but you can't go an awful lot, like any real life, even in real life F1, you don't really go too much off pre-season because it's pre-season. I think this is sort of similar, but we're going to see sort of what these guys have got around track-specific circuits like Australia. How will they fare around here? There's a few guys I'd like to point out quite quickly. The likes of Team LCR feel ones to watch this season. Team Shazoo as well have some great pace at times. So the real shocks as well with Tempet Shoot Racing, they just missed out on Tier 1 with their second team, I believe. There's a few in there who've got points to prove. Thrive Esports as well. They're always a strong team. BPRL returning to URC. There's now URC. So that'll be interesting. Lots of teams to watch out for. I'm sure it is going to be mighty, mighty tight up the top end of the field. I think luck, as well as consistency, plays its part in this league. And with the league being so long, it really is going to throw some things in the air.
At the moment, it is TSR Ice-T at the top with a 119.7. At the moment, we're looking at Chris Macca-Jones in the Ferrari, who has just started a lap. I'm going to get the, there we go, the tyres up. So obviously, he's on the soft tyres for some reason. Don't know why he's doing that. Obviously, the hardest compound. So I think we'll go off him then, because he's not going to be setting an ultimate kind of lap time there.
Yeah, there's a few guys. There's his teammate Clone Troop's actually spun down at turn 12. He spun the car right around. That would only suggest to me that he's run on that horrible curb on the exit and just thrown the car into the barrier of turn 12. I think he may have kept it out of the wall actually. I don't think he's got any wing damage. At least I can see, maybe to his left front.
Left front. Yeah, the end plate's gone there, hasn't it?
Yeah, not an ideal start then for Clone Troop, but he'll go on his merry way for Team Shazoo. Interesting to see what they can do this season as well. And he's been in some top leagues as Clone Troop, so he is definitely one to watch. Top tiers of some top leagues in the past, but he's getting used to the wheel, or pad with no assist. I can't remember which. I think it may be the wheel with no assist. I can't recall it off the top of my head, but he's definitely one to watch. At the moment, it's Errol Vader top for, of course, ARL, aptly enough. In the Renault, he currently leads ahead of TSR Ice-T in the Red Bull. And
Toxic Fusion as well there for ERL's also done a good lap. He's gone 5th, but on these super soft tyres rather than the ultra soft, so that's a good effort from him. ERL looking strong.
It's a good lap. Let's see who else is maybe on a timer. A lot of people just do that one run. With about 10 minutes to go, though, they'll think about going onto a new set of tyres. Some guys going out on softs. I think they're opting just to get out a little bit more practice in, just to see what the limits of grip are in this session in particular. Howard Enrique comes to the line and doesn't improve on his time. He stays 15th fastest at the moment in the Haas, but he is on those soft tyres. I should just like to point out he is on the soft, so he is doing what a couple of people are doing. They're just doing their longer runs, just getting that feel for the circuit, so they know when they do go on the ultra softs towards the end, able to absolutely bolt in a fantastic time. But a 19.5 at the moment isn't too bad to start this season off with in Tier 2. I think they'll be very happy with that.
We got most people in the pits now, but Tom 123 for the win. I presume that's what the FTW stands for. He's on a lap now, pushing hard on the ultra soft tyres. He'll be looking to move up, not set a lap as of yet.
Yeah, right.
Pretty good through there.
Goodness me, I thought actually his car was in the air coming out of turn 12. The front end just lifted ever so slightly down hard on the brakes into turn 13. Good places for overtaking around here. Of course, they have got the 3 DRS zones this season. Running a little bit out of shape, coming through the final couple of corners, but ultimate corner follows. You want to get this absolutely nailed on, because if you nail it, you can get it flat out, and he's all over the curb on the exit there on his run up towards the line. Where will Tom go? Goes into second. A good lap then from the Sync Motorsport driver in the Mercedes. Good lap.
Yeah, very strong lap. Looked good, didn't it, from the view. And Jaime Enrique, for some reason, has retired. Not sure why that is. He's sitting on a 122.3 at the moment, which is 16th, and possibly going to go down to 18th once others have set competitive laps. So that was an interesting call. Who have we got? LR Glitcher, I think, has just started a lap. He's the only man currently on a flyer, I think. In the Haas, currently 8th there for Livid Racing. And not sure what to expect from Livid. I think they had a couple of teams entered in the qualifier, and their silver team were actually quicker than their gold team, so they've had a bit of a conundrum over which drivers to choose for the season. But they were both pretty solid entries, so we'll see what they do when they're kind of combining together now in Tier 2.
Interesting line there, turn 9 there for Glitcher. Actually, that chicane, you can actually run your car straight over that sausage curb. It doesn't really unsettle it on this game. In real life, it makes a huge difference, but on this, you can really throw the car across the curb there. And interesting that he didn't decide to take that option. Maybe he went for the star option, so he comes through 11 and 12 and into 13 as well, running the car out wide. And this is, of course, a street circuit with a gravel trap to the left, and he got in himself into it as he heads in towards 15 and the final corner at turn 16. Again, just that understeer. Feels like the car never goes into that corner. The front never sticks. Glitcher up towards the line, then goes into P6. Again, not a bad effort from the Haas.
And TRL Dutchman for Thrives now just starting a lap there in the McLaren. And we've also got our current pole sitter, ERL D Vader. And he's just starting a lap as well. So plenty of people now giving it a go. And we haven't used the onboard camera yet. I've been doing all of the other stuff in the offboard. So let's go onboard now with Vader, current pole sitter. What can he do? Can he improve that time and put it further away? Still plenty of time to go at the minute. We've got 7 minutes and a half. So this won't be his last run. He'll obviously still be hoping to improve and move that time forward.
Oh, he's back down
out of this lap.
Yeah.
Just as we went on board.
Commentators curse that. Dutchman is coming through 11 and 12. He's got the Haas ahead of him. Gets so sideways going at turn 12 there. He's currently 0.02 of a second behind Ben Ziller and the Mercedes for Sync Motorsport. That is mighty tight between Sync Motorsport and Thrive at the moment. And Dutchman, he's been renowned really for some great one-laps in the past in leagues that I've seen. So let's see what he can as he exits the final corner up towards the line. Will he improve on his time? I think it's been a very scruffy lap from the Dutchman, so I can't improve. He does improve. 19.6. It looked a bit scruffy in that last sector, that middle sector. Didn't look overly hooked up. So I'm surprised he got third there, but good lap nonetheless for the Dutchman.
Here's TSR Ice-T. He's currently 4th. Was at the top towards the beginning. But it's just been pipped now by a few drivers, but within a couple of attempts of that provisional pole time at the moment, so he could be a contender. Going into the fast chicane now. This is so important because it sets up the straight coming up, and he's got it all wrong. Is he going to keep it out the wall? Thankfully he is. And I think I need to stop going on board with people because that is where it all goes wrong. All Toxic Fusions just popped himself back up into P5.
That's
now onto the Ultra Soft tyres.
Yeah, someone else moved up there as well. Couldn't quite tell who that was. I think maybe Benzilla. Yeah, P4. Good lap
look
again.
How close that is.
That is mighty, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
Mighty
Second to fourth, separated by under a tenth, and then it's not very far at all to the leader as well. So, really tight stuff. What we expected, but it's good to see that it is coming to fruition, and we do have plenty of competitive drivers here.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what Fredster can do in the Alfa Romeo for Team LCR. He's currently sat down, bottom of the order, 17th place. I think he's one to watch this season. He's definitely got the pace when it matters. I haven't seen too much of him in leagues in 2018, but definitely, I've raced against him many times in the past. I'm not saying I'm a quick driver, but he absolutely obliterates me. So let's just say he's a very talented driver in that sense. I'm not talented, but he definitely is. Fredster on the 32 in the Alfa Romeo. Let's see what he can do on his first Ultra Soft lap. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, Fredster was in Tier 2 again last year, putting some pretty good results. I remember in Hungary last year, he denied me. He was the guy in 8th when I was 9th of my only point in Season 3. Because I used to be a driver. Long gone those days. But yeah, he's been around for a while, so he knows the leagues, knows what to do. Let's see what he can do now. As you say, I think we could see some good things from him.
Absolutely.
But with it being so competitive, there's such that small gap in there. If you just go slightly off your game, you're going to be struggling to get into the points at all when it's so close.
Oh, attacking the curb at turn 6, I think that was there. Really riding the curb, and rightfully so as well. Heads down towards turn 8 and 9, and you've got turn 10, which isn't really a straight at all, but it is technically turn 10 as he comes through it now. Running the car a little bit shaky on the exit of 9. There is turn 10. Towards turn 11, how late does he dare brake? Throws the car into 11 and into 12. Don't run the curb car too wide onto the curb on the exit of 12. And up towards turn 13. He's going to have to be very low on the brakes once again. It's a solid lap this from Fred, and wide again through turn 13. 14 which follows. Just got to keep in there because the understeer just feels, the car always feels like the front end never grips through turn 15 and eventually turn 16 as well. I say eventually, I don't think we'll be saying that much longer because Fredster's coming towards the line for the Alfa Romeo. And where does he go? And he goes P9, but it looked like a very solid lap from Fred. He will have to go again with about 3 minutes to go. Or, no, he won't because he'll retire from the session.
No, he's quite happy in 9th. That'll do him. So yeah, who have we got? Again, lots of people in the pits at the moment. We've got Glitcher here again. He is on a lap. And, currently 11th. Let's see in terms of the team. It looks quite mixed in terms of the teams, doesn't it? Plenty of different colours there towards the top. Yeah, it's sync at the moment, isn't it? Probably the best. 2nd and 4th. Most consistency there between their two drivers.
Surprised me. I'll be honest, I'd never really heard of sync going into this season. To see them 2nd and 4th, that's a mighty effort from them. But there are still a few who haven't set laps on ultra soft tyres towards, well, maybe from about 10th down to 17th. I think may have a chance here of really trying to snatch something away from these top guys at the moment.
Yeah, quite a lot of people backing out of laps here. Is Panther coming to the end of a lap here for Temper Shoot? No, he's just starting a lap. I think Glitcher backed out of his lap, and yeah, but he's starting another one now. But Panther has just started. A load of the other drivers just coming out on their out lap now, and
they even get late. To be fair, to come out on your out lap only now. Yeah. It's a bit. That's pushing it. You're going to be pushing on your out lap, which isn't ideal. But,
especially when everyone leaves it late, like they have, because then you get a big traffic jam, and then you've got to give yourself gap, but you can't wait too long because you've got to
Clone Troop.
So not ideal.
Clone Troop's only just coming out of the pits. He's only just coming out of the pits for the in the Ferrari. So that is leaving it late for Team Shazoo. And for Clone Troop, and I think his teammate Chris Macker-Jones has only just come out. He's going to have to start cutting some corners if he wants to get this lap on the board. But we're going to have to see a few laps coming on now then. Aero Vader is actually on a lap. Oh no, he isn't. He's backed out of his lap by the look of things, unless he's going to go for another one. But the Dutchman is definitely on a lap.
Where's Vader on track?
He's coming out of turn 10 now. He's through the kink up towards 11.
Here comes Panther across the line. Where's he put himself?
Stays 10th. Let's see.
Dutchman then.
Yeah, let's roll on board with Dutchman. He comes through the kink of 10. You want to keep the wheel as straight as possible and then throw the car right towards the left as well, through 11 and 12. And oh my goodness me, he's across the curves out of turn 12 and then whack open that DRS as you head down towards 13 once again. Try not to lock up the right front. Nearly said the left right, but of course that's not strictly true. And he's going to have to try again on his lap for the Thrive Esports team. They're not going to be too happy with that. Tom, too happy with that. They will be pleased with third, of course, but he may want to go again. It's just a bit scruffy from the McLaren. Tom won't improve though. He can only hope for at least second. 10 seconds to go, and we're starting to see all the laps flying on the board, and it'll be interesting to see who gets where. I don't even think Clone Troop's made it. Or has he? He may have made it here. Across the line comes... No, he hasn't.
No, he's taken the checkered. He's taken the checkered, so that's him done. Vader and Dutchman have just got onto their laps in time. Looking at Vader now. And it looks like that time that he set pretty early in the session could be enough for pole here. We're about to see there could be a flurry of late laps, but at the... Oh, there we go. That is a lap. That's one. 19.3.
Great lap from Benzilla.
That's moved the bar quite substantially, hasn't it?
It has, and now Vader's going to have to really throw the car in 11 and 12, and he's got it all wrong. He hasn't really touched the apex of 12, and you do need to get onto the curve there to get the best run possible. He's now going to be throwing this car around this final sector. He really does need to for the RL team. It's away. No, he doesn't improve. He's backed out. He will not improve.
So it's all on Dutchman then.
Yeah, let's see what he can do in the McLaren for Thrive as he heads round now the final couple of corners. Can he snatch pole away from Sync Motorsport for Thrive? He's coming towards the final corner now and up towards the line. Darius wide open on that McLaren. Can he get anywhere near the front row? No, he stays fourth fastest. Goodness me.
That's it then, isn't it? Or no, Macker-Jones, where can he go? He's the last card across the line. But
15th.
15th. Pretty respectable on the super softs. To put himself where he is there, so not a bad effort from him. But yeah, there we go. That is it. A closely fought session, but in the end, Benzilla with a reasonably comfortable advantage there at the front. Not massively, but a bit of a gap there, and very close then between the next three. Vader in second position. So yeah, plenty of different leagues there towards the front, and it's going to be tough calling what's going to happen here in the race. And let's just read through the grid now once it's all loaded up. And here we go then. So yeah, Benzilla on pole, Vader in second, Tom 1, 2, 3 there in third, Dutchman fourth, and Ice-D in fifth, Toxic Fusion in sixth, ESR Amazed in seventh, Clone Troop in eighth, Fredster there in ninth, TSR Panther 10th, LCR Ben 11th, LR Glitcher 12th, TR Pickless there in 13th, then BPRL Goblin, Chris Macker-Jones, Frober Jobo, BPRL Imp, and Jemo Enrique rounding out the times. We didn't see a proper time from him really, only saw him on the soft tyres, so interesting to see what he can do in the race.
Oh, interesting to see how
Here we go then.
As well. Yeah, it was only a second between the top 12 in that session. That's mighty tight.
Very nice. Good to see this continue. Tier 2 was always really competitive in the old days when it was URC. And it's good to see that is continuing. There's no formation lap for Tier 2 because we're running to quite a tight schedule this year in terms of Tier 1, Tier 2 to Tier 1. We'll be jumping pretty much straight into Tier 1 after this stream finishes. So no formation lap here in Tier 2. So we're going to be going straight into it. Could you pick a name out the hat before we get underway?
I've been impressed by Sync, so I feel like maybe one of them will take it. But I don't want to ever put my money on things like this, so let's just see what these guys are made of.
Right, yeah, so I'm going to put my money on Vader. But it's going to be tough to call. Really are quite random. So, yeah, here we go.
Absolutely, 5 red line. And ahead of the URC season, Tier 2 is underway. It's a pretty good start. Looks like from Benzella from pole position, has got off the line well, but the Renault will try to challenge him in towards turn 1. Can Vader get the inside into turn 1? Indeed he can. He's right up the inside and he's taken the lead. The Sync boys nearly make contact and Benzella's dropping right back down the field. Now the McLaren's off in the background. They're 3 wide going in towards turn 3 there, and somehow Benzella's managed to hold on to 4th place. There's more carbon fibre flying everywhere. The Red Bull gets there. That's Easty in the Red Bull for the TSR team, and he's moved himself into 3rd place. But an awful start from Benzella for Sync. He's running wide again through turn 5. He's had a shocker.
Yeah, an absolute disaster for him there. Ran wide there at turn 1 and then just couldn't get it back together from there. And he's just gone way back. But he's still in 4th. He can still make something of this race. He's just got to keep a cool, calm head now, isn't he? Let's see. Chris Macker-Jones, what a start from him. He was 15th. He's up to 10th. That's a fantastic start from him. Let's get the details here. The position change. Yeah, big movements there from Chris Macker-Jones. The big loser is Dutchman, down 5 places.
There goes Smith. McLaren hasn't got off the line well. He's in embraced battle with Chris Macker-Jones in the Ferrari, so that'll be an interesting one to see as we head through the Grand Prix. He's actually on the super soft tyres, Chris Macker-Jones, so it's a bolting getaway from him, and he'll be very happy with that. It's the gap. The leader then is Vader, and he's starting to stretch his legs as well. Nearly 1.4 seconds behind to Tom in 2nd place, who hasn't made up any positions, well, has made up a position, I should say, off the line. Tierstar Easty is currently in 3rd at the moment, and there's the Mercedes! He's spun into the barriers in the background. That's Benzella, the pole sitter, is round, and somehow not out of the race.
Yeah, was it? I'm looking here at the onboard camera. It doesn't look like he's got any damage to the left-hand side of the front wing there. What about the right-hand side? He's got away with that. How has he got away with that? Didn't quite. Just caught the end of it there. Did he actually touch the wall? Surely he did. Looked like he was going straight towards it.
Yeah,
he seems to have got away with it without damage. Yeah.
How is he? That's miraculous. That is miraculous. Toxic Fusion for ARL though. It's all over the back for Mazed. He's for rightly as well for the 183 Esports team. He's had a stonking start to this Grand Prix in the Williams, and he's up into 4th place. But Toxic Fusion getting a bit out of shape out of 11 and 12. He's under pressure then from Fredster behind, who's also had a good start in the Sauber, and he goes down the inside in towards turn 13. Can Fred make up a place? Yes, he can. He'll barge him out wide, and there is the position gain for the Alfa Romeo Sauber. And through is also Clone Troop and Dutchman as well. Dutchman is going to be under pressure. That is all sorts of action going down there in the mid-pack. And somehow, Fredster's moved himself into 5th place. Yeah, pretty aggressive move there. He's really kind of closed the door, and that's cost Vader a couple of positions there. But yeah, just when you thought that there was enough action, now DRS has been labelled, so we're going to see even more moves from the guys here. So at the moment, let's have a quick look at strategy. Top 8 guys are all on the ultra soft tyres, so our leading super soft driver is Macker-Jones. Pickless also on that. We've got a few guys on the soft tyres as well, so a pretty good range there, and I think we could be seeing that play out later. At the moment, it's just a fight, isn't it, really? Yeah, of course, and I think there was 5 cars who actually come into the pits on the opening lap alone. Robert Jones is back in the pits for 183 Esports at the moment. It's not the sort of start they were hoping for. And let's look further down the field. This mid-pack is crazy. From about Clone Troop down, so you've got Clone Troop, Dutchman, Toxic Fusion, Chris Macker-Jones is up there as well on the super soft tyres, and you have Pickless as well. My goodness me, if that's the sort of scrap room for in the mid-pack, we're in for a terrific season. Benzella, though, is also starting to close in. He's currently sat 11th, did start from pole position, so it's a pretty shoddy guess away from him, but he'll be hoping to make it up as the race progresses. And DRS, as we said, is enabled, so let's see how the Dutchman decides to close up to Clone Troop ahead of him in the Ferrari. It's going to be mighty tight between those two. HD isn't going to be close enough for Tom at the moment, so let's ride on board with Dutchman. He's not really gaining too much in a straight line to Clone Troop, but I think it's more the run out of turn 2 towards turn 3. You get plenty of just momentum getting out of turn 2, and let's see what he can do then in the McLaren, up the inside of Clone Troop, in towards turn 3, can't get the move. Couldn't even get the car stopped in time, but watch Toxic Fusion behind. He was looking racy behind that McLaren. He stays in P8.
Yeah, you've got to be careful when you're going for a move. Can't be too aggressive because you could quite easily lose 1 or 2 places at least behind. So you really got to be careful with how you pick your overtakes there, and Dutchman just backing off ever so slightly to make sure nothing bad came of it. But yeah, he's already picked up a time penalty we saw there for corner cutting warnings, which is far from ideal, and that could play a big part in the result, so people have got to be careful with that. And he's still very close. Look how close he's following him through there. That is crazy stuff. No problems with following here in URC. He's going to try down the inside. No, he switches to the outside. Oh, and he's got him. Surely on the exit now.
Side by
Got
side
the inside line.
Goodness me, they went with each other, and actually the Ferrari stayed on the road. They're making more contact. The Renault's got some damage, and somehow they've managed to keep each other out of the wall there. That was crazy close, but it's going to stay crazy close as well. There's a Mercedes off, and that's Benzilla, the pole man, is out. Here goes Dutchman into turn 1. He's got the Ferrari surely this time, and has got the Ferrari on the inside, and takes himself into 6th place just as the virtual safety car gets deployed. Goodness me.
Safety car out there, and that's because of Benzilla crashing there. Just lost it, crashed into the pit wall, so he is out. What a shame. Put it on pole, but could not convert it at all. A terrible race, unfortunately, for the Sync Motorsport driver.
It was scruffy. It was scruffy. Yeah. The first opening laps of this race.
Lots of incidents.
Yeah, even the first lap alone, just running wide on most corners. It was just a bit. It's a bit frustrating for him and for Sync as well. But I'm sure he'll try to bounce back from it. Let's look at the gap between 2nd and 3rd. Tom is 2nd, his teammate, and TSR of Eastie up there in 3rd place in the Red Bull. Look how close that is. That's going to be mighty tight once the green flags get underway. So that'll be worth watching between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. DRS is enabled, and Tom gets a penalty immediately after the safety car restart. Clone Troop's got a move done as well on the Dutchman. He's got him back. Oh my goodness me, how did he save that? How did he save that, Dutchman? He was sideways. He was on full opposite lock through there. That's something more of Sebastian Ogier than anything I've ever seen. That is crazy sideways stuff from him. And goodness me, how the hell did he keep out the barriers? And here we go again, Dutchman against Clone Troop. This is going to be maybe a reoccurring theme in this Grand Prix, and I don't think Dutchman's going to be close enough yet. Under braking though, down towards turn 1 and turn 2. Turn 3 is a great place to make overtakes. I'm sure he'll make one too. Fred's just all over the back of Amazed as well, into turn 3, and Fred, is he going to get this move done? He's made contact with the Williams, and Fred is up to 4th, but he is really starting to get his elbows out in that.
Yeah, look. Yeah, May's lost out badly there, hasn't he? Now, got to be thinking about the next cars behind. Dutchman didn't get back through on Clone Troop, and now he's defending once again from Toxic Fusion. So, really keeping close this group here. Fusion following him nice and closely. Is he going to have a go into the braking zone? Yes, he is. Puts his car sort of alongside, but didn't really have a proper go there. Should have committed a little bit more, and I reckon he could have got the move done. Now he's going to look through the chicane. He's got to set this car up nicely, which I think he has. He should get a good run. No, Dutchman's taken that corner very, very nicely, and has created a little bit of a gap, and he'll survive down this straight, and hopefully then be able to set it up for another attack on Clone Troop, although he has created a bit of a gap.
He has indeed. He's starting to pull away. But there goes the Renault, the inside. He's made contact with him.
Oh no, that was poor. That was unfortunate, wasn't it? Just messed it up a little bit on the brakes, didn't he? And just tagged the back of Dutchman. Now they're battling with PFL. Bartek Fries there, the PFL drivers, who I didn't even realise they've actually made it. They've come from the back of the grid, and they are 10th and 13th at the moment. Look out for those guys. Didn't even realise they'd joined the lobby.
Oh, the Force Indians off in the background as well. It's all sorts of carnage and carbon fibre flying everywhere in this Grand Prix. It's not short of action, fair to say that. But starting to a little bit quieter. We're going towards the discrepancies of the top 10. Really looking at 10th and 11th. Dutchman has had one hell of a afternoon, really, just getting that McLaren all over the shop, and something that maybe we want to change in future races, but Thrive looking good at this stage of the race.
I'm thinking, does Pickless have some kind of damage? Because Clone Trooper's just massively pulled away from him. It doesn't look like it, but yeah, that has kind of spread out that gap now, hasn't it? It's kind of moved a bit down to about 10th, where we're seeing the main amount of action now. But there is still plenty going on. And yeah, let's have a look at these PFL guys. As I said, I didn't even realise they'd made the race, but they've done a fantastic job. And yeah, up loads of places so far. So they'll be looking for some solid points here, despite starting from the back. And we've got a couple of cars in the pits here.
Chris Macca-Jones, is it?
And Macca-Jones.
I'm interested by that. That's very early for the soft runner. Got a 5-second stop-go penalty as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's not good for him. He's going to lose out a lot there. That 5 seconds could make a very big difference, couldn't it? But maybe he'll make it back up a bit on the undercut. They're all going onto the soft tyres. Toxic Fusion is another pitter out of those guys. Bit of clean air on the soft tyres now. Presume that they'll try and go to the end from here, but quite a long way to go. And where are they coming out? Yeah, a few cars around them, but better amount of clean air than they had previously, shall we say, in the big battle that they were driving in.
Yeah, Hammer Enrique is up in 10th for Haas at the moment. That's a good, solid drive. I'm pretty sure he was at the very back of the field, well, the original provisional back of the field anyway, in the Haas, and he's made himself a bit of a nuisance in this race, up to 10th. Behind him is the other PFL driver, Pro Gamer. So they're having, you'd say, a solid race. On super soft tyres is its Pro Gamer. Into the pits, though, is the race leader of Vader. He decides to pit now, and as does Tom, as does Easty as well. All of the top three have dived into the pit lane, and they are ready to get these ultra soft tyres off and bolt on a new set of boots in many ways, the soft tyres.
Yeah, you got to say that at the moment Vader has this race under control. He's got a nice gap, but this is the critical phase because he's going to come out into a bunch of traffic just behind a Pro Gamer and Hammer Enrique as well. So this could be where he loses some time. He's got to make sure that he gets through quickly but also cleanly. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit of pressure on him. Where have the other guys come out? How's that worked? It's worked well for Tom. He's got a really nice gap, yeah. So that could work out well for him. And it's not too bad for Easty as well. Easty, sorry. He's got just Goblin in front of him. And then no one else in terms of slow traffic. So that should work not too bad for him.
As long as Vader can manage the gap to Tom, he's got a chance in this race. But you know that Tom now is going to be pushing like hell because he's thinking, look, Christ, he's going to be in traffic here. So he has got an opportunity to really snatch, well, to potentially snatch the race lead, technically. But what Vader's got to be thinking now is, what do I do? Do I manage the gap to the guys ahead? Because he knows then, or potentially knows that they're not going to be stopping for another few laps, especially not its Pro Gamer on super soft tyres. Not well, so is Hammer Enrique. He's also on the super soft tyres. Soft tyres for Bartek Frass. So that's yeah, these guys aren't going to be budging anytime soon. So he'll have to be thinking, how is he going to manage his gap? Is he going to go for the overtakes now, or will he wait until later on in the Grand Prix? Fredster has pit, as has Clone Troop in the Ferrari.
Yeah, so those are the last of the ultra soft runners then to pit. We've just got guys now staying out who started on the super softs or the soft tyres. So let's have a look. Yeah, all but 6 guys now have made at least one stop. So let's see how this goes. This could be a critical stage of the race. I do feel like this could be where positions are won and lost, as is so often the way. But yeah, Bartek Frass is doing a really good job, isn't he? He looks like he's got some really good pace. Closing in on Imp, who's done a solid job as well on those soft tyres so far. Penalty there for Frobo Jobo. But yeah, I think Bartek Frass could be one to look out for. If this strategy works for him, he's certainly got the pace to do a good job with it.
Absolutely. It's just how long he decides to take these soft tyres. We know safety cars could play its part in this Grand Prix as well. So, coming late safety car, he could be really one to watch for the PFL boys in the Force India. And I think there's a move going on with the background. That's Vader getting past its Pro Gamer, and that's one position off of his list. But how much time has he lost there? Well, it's 4.6 seconds the gap to Tom behind him. So He is still going to have to get a move on. He isn't done yet. He does need to get these overtakes done.
Yeah, Pro Gamer let him through there. Moved to the inside, thought, I don't want to lose any time, so I'm just going to let you through.
Oh, he sticks in the barriers!
Jones.
Oh, Fred's contact as well. There's Williams.
Oh my goodness me. Oh!
So I don't know what's gone on there. There's carbon fibre everywhere. On the final corner, Fred out, Tirso Easty out, Goblin out as well. The Toro Rosso, the Sauber, and the other Red Bull all
Panther,
out
what is
of
going
the
on?
race. Goodness me. It's a
Panther's retired as
5-car
well.
pile-up. Down at the final corner. Surely a safety car's got to come out for that. That's crazy. It's absolutely mental. But a lot of people are going to be going a lot of position. The Williams are no front
yellows,
wing.
but nothing there. But that's both Tempest Shoot Racing drivers out. That's a disastrous incident for those guys. And from a reasonably solid position, they've just lost it all there. And I completely missed the incident, unfortunately, with the camera, but crikey, that was something, wasn't it? Losing 3 drivers at once and then a 4th coming in as well.
Yeah,
Franz looking down the inside of BPRL Imp now for 2nd place and doesn't quite, just backs out of that, probably good thinking. And they've got Vader coming up behind them now to look out for. So this could be crucial, wouldn't it? If they're battling with each other, Vader's got to think about that.
Bartek Franz lets Vader through. That's cunning. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that could be a good move there. Let's see. Depends what kind of fight Imp puts up. Oh, we've lost James, unfortunately, there. Vader now closing up behind Imp. And this is going to be a crucial move to make. It's the last real car that he's got, because Pickless is 3.3 seconds up the road and on the super soft, so he'll probably be pitting quite soon. Just lining him up at the moment. Do you need an invite to get back? Oh yeah, you've gone for the session. Right, Vader going around the outside now, but no, he just backs out of that. Crikey. Yeah, just being a little bit careful there. That could have ended in tears. That could have been an aeroplane crash if that had gone wrong. He's going down the inside now, though. That's a very aggressive move. I think he's made it work. He's got the inside line now. Yes, he is through. Crikey, there was no shortage of aggression with that one, but he has made it stick. Imp now having to fend from Bartek Fraz. That plan of Fraz of letting through Vader almost worked, but not quite. Now we've got Hamo Ulrich coming into the pits there on the super soft tyres, and so is Pro Gamer. So we've only got a few guys now. 3 guys who haven't pitted out of those remaining in the race. And this is going to completely throw out the order once these stops have been done, because guys that were up there, such as Fredster, Easty, are now out of the race. So really hard to work out what kind of order we're going to be looking at. No doubt that Vader will be in the lead, though. He's managed to get through all that traffic without any major problems, and it's all looking good for him now. Tom is going to be coming up to that traffic very soon, but he's got a nice comfortable gap behind him, so there's no need to rush for him if he wants to keep that 2nd place. Yellow in Sector 1, what's that for? Trying to work out who might be in Sector 1. No one. Not sure what that was for. Toxic Fusion, how is he doing? He's down in 10th, so has he made another stop? No, he's only made 1 stop, so he's lost out because Hamar Enrique is now in front of him, who had previously been behind, so he's lost out a little bit, and he's on 5-lap old tyres. So, looking like this is working for Hamar Enrique. He's had a good race so far. Comes there for Pickless as well. He's just coming into the pits, obviously, and that's where he's picked it up. Tom looking around the outside of Bartek Fraz now. Yeah, he does play it nice and steady. Should be able to get through here with the DRS, although Bartek Fraz has got DRS as well from him. He does go down the inside here, does Tom. Space given by Bartek Fraz, so that's all right. And no problem there. Tom just taking his time, no need to rush. But in the same respect, you won't want to fall too far behind Vader just in case something happens. Ooh, that was a bit odd there. 3-second time penalty picked up. Are you back now in the session?
No. No, barely.
Yeah, with Tom's still looking to get through here. Surely now. So much fresher tyres, 8 lap fresher tyres. You'd think they'd be able to get this move done pretty quickly, but Franz is putting up a reasonable fight. But he has now got that move done as Tom moves up with reasonable ease. Nice gap now for Imp. Franz was right up his back, but now Franz is just backed away a little bit. Another penalty there for Toxic Fusion. We've seen quite a few penalties here, as Pickless just loses out there to Clone Troop. Clone Troop getting through there. We saw these guys battling. Oh no, sorry, it's Dutchman and Clone Troop earlier in the race, wasn't it? But we've seen McLarens and Ferraris fighting with each other all race long so far. And that's another change of position there between those guys. Tom just closing up now on Imp. And then he's got it done. Then he's comfortable. Vader is taking it steady, I would say. I think he could be pulling away a little bit more than that, but he's probably just looking after his tyres, making sure everything's in order. No need to panic. He's got the pace to control this race, and at the moment he's got a nice gap as well that is extending. Maybe not as much as I thought it would, but still got things well under control. Tom now closing up on Imp. Is he going to do the same move that he did on Bartek Fraz last lap, just setting it up through the chicane, then using that DRS to draw alongside and passing out the next corner. Oh no, there's contact, there's contact. It's all gone wrong for Tom. That's damage. He's picked up damage there, and that is going to cost him badly. How has that happened? An absolute disaster. Now he goes down the inside on Imp. He's got the move done, but in the process he's run Imp off the track, and Bartek Fraz is going to get through on the both of them. It's gone terribly wrong for Tom. He fights back on Bartek Fraz though, and he's back through into second position now, but he's got damage. He has got damage out of that. And that is disastrous for Tom. He's now got to carry damage for the remaining 13 laps of this Grand Prix. And that could be a really bad thing for him. It doesn't look like it's too bad. He just clipped the back of Imp. But it could be costly still, because that is an awful long time he's got to carry that. The ultimate winner out of that is Bartek Fraz, because he's managed to get through on Imp, who had created a little bit of a gap on him. So crikey, plenty of action there. And Pickless is still close behind Clone Troop. Those guys there looking like they're going to be fighting until the end. Can Imp get back past Bartek Fraz? They were very evenly matched on pace. Very evenly matched. And now they're right by each other once again. Could we see those positions change back? 15 laps on these tyres now, so they're going to... Ooh, penalty there for Bartek Fraz. We're seeing a lot of penalties here. And that is not ideal. Yeah, those tyres are going to start crying out now. Change me, change me. But yeah, at the moment they're going to keep on going. Not too bad a pace they are keeping with Tom. Oh, Imp is in the pits. Imp is in the pits. He's called it a day now. I presume that he's going to go onto the super soft tyres. Let's see what he's going to do. Just let me know if you do get back in, James. Okay, no worries if that's the case. But when you do come back on, I'll give you an invite again. Alright, so Imp has come out into 10th position there on the super soft tyres, and he's got a 3-second gap at the moment to Hamo Enrique. That's going to be tough to close down because Hamo Enrique is on pretty fresh soft tyres there. Ooh, Pro Gamer is through on Macca Jones. Pro Gamer on quite a bit fresher tyres there, so that's an important move for him to get through. But yeah, that could be tough for Imp to do, but once he gets to Hamo Enrique, then it's Toxic Fusion, just a few tenths further up, and then another second to Dutchman, and they're all on older soft tyres, so Imp should be able to move up a fair amount of places here. Probably looking for somewhere around 7th or 8th, which would be ideal. Here we go, Bartek Fraz. Is he going to respond to Imp? Yes, he is. He's in the pits now. Where is he going to come out in relation? He was just in front of Imp, but Imp has now had a lap on those super soft tyres. So he's got a good chance of regaining that spot once again. Let's see. Nice pit stop there from the Force India boys. And he's coming back out onto the track now. Clone Troop going past him, and Pickler's still very, very closely matched. Pickler's looking to get through on those fresher tyres. Bartek Fraz is going to come out neck and neck with Imp. It's going to be close into turn 1. I think Imp is going to have it round the outside. Yes, he is. Just swoops around there. And Bartek Fraz has lost that spot. And they've got to sort of work together now, I would almost say. If Bartek Fraz starts attacking Imp, they're not going to make the progress on the cars in front that they need to. Hamel Enrique there has lost a second to Imp since Imp came out the pits, so that should be only a few laps before he closes up. But he's obviously got to get past him as well, which is very important. Dutchman just in front there as well, and Pickless on those fresher tyres. I would think that he would be out of reach for those guys, but we will see. How is Tom doing? He's struggling for pace in comparison to Vader with that bit of damage that he picked up, but he's keeping a nice gap to ESR Amazed, who's in a nice third spot there with a bit of a gap behind. Bit of no man's land really for him. 9 seconds in front and almost 5 seconds behind. So maybe he's just taking it steady and not chasing down Tom, knowing that it's quite a big gap despite the damage. And oh, someone there on the gravel. That was Dutchman. Imp has taken another few tenths out of Hamel Enrique, but no massive gains. He's not gaining 2 seconds a lap or anything, because Enrique's tyres aren't too bad. Fraz is going to be lining up here though. Said that they might want to work together, but in the same respect, you don't want to be behind someone that you are quicker than. And it looks at the moment like Bartek Fraz has a slight pace advantage. He's got the DRS now. Is he going to look down the inside? No. Covered off there by Imp, so he's got to go around the outside. And Imp doesn't give him a chance there and just closes that door nicely. Imp holds the spot, and yeah, there you go. Then Battling has just lost a couple of tenths on that progress they were making towards Enrique. Now they've dropped back just a little bit, which is a shame for those guys, but I don't see them working together. I think that they're quite intent on holding position or getting past. They're not worried about catching up the guys in front just yet. Maybe with a few laps to go that might change when they realise they're not making the progress they sort of want to. Pickless, closer than ever to Clone Troop. He goes down the inside. Is he going to be able to hold it? No, he's just backed out there. Clone Troop holds it round the outside very nicely. Bartek Fraz is through on Imp. He's got that move done. So Bartek Fraz now ahead of Imp. Does look like he's been slightly quicker since they moved on to the super soft tyres, and now he'll hope to close down the guys in front, but Pickless giving it a go there, but Clone Troop defending well, holding his line. And Pickless is going to have another go now. I think this fight is going to go right to the wire. Clone Troop defending well on their slightly older tyres, but Pickless not giving up. He's a little bit too far away here. Didn't quite get the run onto the DRS straight. And now he is just going to stay behind for a little bit longer. Toxic Fusion now. Is he going to have a look? He is. He's going down the inside there of TR Dutchman. He's got that move done. And Dutchman is down into 7th position. Fusion up into 6th place. Chris Smacker-Jones and Pro Gamer swapping places again. He's swapped places into that corner just a few laps to go. And now it has swung once again. Bartek Fraz right up onto Enrique now. Definite pace advantage on these super soft tyres for Bartek Fraz and Beeper Amp, as you would obviously expect. Those guys pressuring them really hard. And at the moment, Enrique is probably looking at a 10th place finish. But he's going to do all he can to hold on, I would imagine. Let's see. Bartek Fraz might have a run here. He's got the DRS once again, but so has Enrique. Doesn't have a look there, does Fraz. Just decides to stay behind. Dutchman's run onto the grass there. Lost a few tenths to Toxic Fusion, and also the guys behind. Ooh, another big moment there. He's running ever so wide through the corners here. And, yeah, really closing up there. That's a train setting up there behind Toxic Fusion. Fredster there has left the session. I think we're going to see another attempt here. Pickless on Clone Troop for 4th position. looks like those podium spots aren't going to change. They look pretty set in stone. So this is the main position really left to battle for. Pickless doesn't really show his nose fully, and just stays behind for another lap. And there we go. Barset for us still hasn't made a move on Hammer on Reek. Let's see what happens there. I'm just going to quickly see if I can get James back for these last few laps. Nice. Right, Bartek Fraz now looking down the inside here. He's set him up nicely, and he is through on Hammer on Reek. It looks like Imp is going to try and follow him through here. Nice view from the helicopter cam, but no, he doesn't quite get through. Hammer on Reek just holding on there around the outside. But that is a crucial move there for Bartek Fraz, and even more crucial in the fact that Imp hasn't quite got through there. So Bartek Fraz is now looking at their next car on the road, Dutchman. And we've got a slow car coming out the pits there. That's Frobo Jobo just leaving the pits. 1 lap down in 15th position. Also, we've got to look out for fastest lap. Oh, hang on. We've got to change the position here. Pickless is looking about the outside. Yes, Pickless is finally through on Clone Trooper. Great defence there from Clone Trooper. Oh, and Bartek Fraz is through as well on Dutchman. So a few changes of position there. But yeah, that was a crucial move there from Pickless. And he's up. Clone Troop put up a stellar defence, but with 4-lap older tyres, it was always going to be a tough job for him. So what has Bartek Fraz got here? He's got Toxic Fusion right in his sights, so he can get him for sure. Could he then close down on Clone Troop? I think he might be able to, actually. I think I underestimated where they could go. I think they can go higher than I originally thought. Bartek Fraz lining him up once again. This is his favourite overtaking zone, but he doesn't quite make it stick through there. Imp still behind Hammer on Reek. Look at the progress that Bartek Fraz has made compared to Imp. Such a shame for Imp. He's got to just knuckle down and keep on going to try and make these overtakes. Clone Troop sticking with Pickless here, as I think we're going to see Imp surely get through here. Hammer on Reek didn't have a good run whatsoever. No, just holds back for the moment, does Imp. Setting it up for the second DRS straight, maybe. And he has now got that DRS, but Hammer on Reek is going to be looking at Dutchman here, as we've got another change of position. Pickless and Clone Troop swapping back over. Imp doesn't make the move through there. But yeah, Clone Troop has got that position back. So, despite the fact he's got older tyres, despite the fact he was passed, he's not giving up the fight, and he has held that position there. Good driving from these pair. We're seeing a really nice battle between these guys for 4th position, and it's just playing into Bartek Fraz's hands. He's through on Toxic Fusion and will now be closing down on these guys who are holding each other up. So Fraz could get as high as 4th here. What a fight through it's been from the back of the pack for the PFL driver. Oh, contact. That's Hammer on Reek round. Has he picked up damage from that? Oh, not sure. No, I don't think he has. We've seen a few drivers today spinning, but somehow not getting the damage. He's into 10th position now. He's only going to be fighting for 1 point, and he's got to fight hard to keep Pro Gamer and Chris Macca-Jones behind, and they've been having a fight of their own. Pro Gamer goes down the inside, but can't quite make the move down there on Enrique. He holds that last points position for the moment, but that fight's going to go right to the end as well. The fight for the final point is well and truly on now. But yeah, this is interesting. Bartek Fraz is already caught up with Pickless and Clone Troop. Those guys just holding each other up loads with their battling. A fantastic battle to watch, but probably not ideal for them. Bartek Fraz already caught up with them. I thought it would only be the last couple of laps he'd be behind them, but he's got a good 5 laps now to line them up for an overtake, which is ideal for him on those super soft tyres. Still only 6 laps old, so he's got plenty of grip in those tyres for the moment. Toxic Fusion slotting in nicely there into 7th. He has made a little bit of progress since the stops, but now is holding on quite old tyres there. TR Dutchman just behind in 8th, and then Imp. I don't know what's happened to Imp. He's just not making any progress really. Got past Hammer on Reek, but not making any further moves from there. Look how close this is. We've got Pickless in front and then Clone Troop just in front as well. Is Bartek Ferraz going to have a go? Yes, he is. He goes down the inside. A little bit of a late move, but I think he's going to make it stick here. He's got alongside, but no, well held on there by Pickless. Surprised he went for that, really. Left it very, very late to go down the inside. Didn't really draw alongside, but almost made it stick, and that has really helped Clone Troop extend that advantage out again for 4th place. And Toxic Fusion has caught up as well. Bartek Ferraz now going down the inside. No, that's not ideal because it hasn't set himself up very well now. Now he's on the wrong line for the DRS straight. He could be under pressure here from Toxic Fusion. Fusion, is he going to look down the inside? No, he decides against that. And Bartek Ferraz survives there. Could have easily lost a spot. Just kind of got his lines wrong. Thought about making an overtake, didn't commit to it, and then was on the wrong line, not on the racing line. But he's still got time, still got plenty of laps to get through on Pickless. But Clone Troop is getting away for that 4th position. I'm really happy for Clone Troop because he put up a hell of a fight against Pickless, and I kind of thought that it wasn't going to be of any use to him, but it has worked. We've got a yellow out there. Hamon Rika's had another incident. What a shame. He's in the gravel. And what was looking like a good race has unfortunately gone wrong for him in the last few laps. That is a real shame. But yeah, going back to Clone Troop, really holding on has been worth it because he's got a good chance of keeping 4th here. But Pickless and Ferraz are catching back up with him quite quickly, so he's still got more work to do. But at the moment, with a few laps to go, just 3 laps to go now. Or is it 4? Yeah, 3 or 4 laps to go. I'm not sure when the lap counter go. Yeah, it is 4 laps to go for these guys. Vader quite a long way in front there. He's a good sector through the lap. Here comes Pickless then. Can he set up Clone Troop for an overtake? He's got the DRS. He's got a good run. I think he's going to have a go. No, because Clone Troop defends the inside well and leaves his braking nice and late. Oh, contact there. Bit of contact. Has that resulted in damage? I don't think so. But Pickless has got to be careful here. Doesn't want to lose any of his front wing at this crucial stage of the race. Just a few laps to go. Talking about damage, Tom, it doesn't seem to... Oh, another penalty for Bartek Ferraz. Unfortunately, even if Bartek Ferraz is able to move up into 4th position, I think I've seen his name pop up at least twice, maybe even 3 times for penalties. That could affect him quite badly in terms of the final standings, even if he makes a few overtakes. Penalties will be crucial here. Pickless is so close. This is once again just seeing the guys right next to each other. We could be 3 abreast going into this corner. Pickless goes down the inside. Is he going to make it stick? No. Clone Troop holds round on the outside. Bartek Ferraz watching carefully, thinking, can I get through? But not quite. Keeping it clean are Clone Troop and Pickless, as they have throughout this entire battle. Toxic Fusion sat there at the back, just a couple of tenths behind. Those tyres really old now on his car, but he's doing a good effort to keep up. Bartek Ferraz looking around the outside of Pickless. No, thought he was looking around the outside for a second there, but not going to get the move done here. Imp has made up another spot and missed that. He's up into 8th. Bartek Ferraz under pressure from Toxic Fusion. Fusion makes the move stick. And that is a very interesting development there. Bartek Ferraz seems to be going backwards at the moment, and he's now under pressure from Imp. I was saying a second ago, Imp wasn't making progress compared to Bartek Ferraz, but they're now back together again as Toxic Fusion makes a firm move on Bartek Ferraz that forced him off the circuit. And yeah, Toxic Fusion hanging on in there despite his tyres being 19 laps old. Doing a very good job there indeed. Pickless and Clone Troop. This fight is going to go to the last corner, I reckon. They've been at it since the pit stops, and it's going to carry on. What an effort from these two guys. Really nice battling, and despite the fact that they've had a lot of pressure on them from guys on fresher tyres behind, they've kept their positions for the moment, but there's still 2 laps to go. So there's still plenty of time for something to come off this. They've got to make sure they hold on. Toxic Fusion really close. Look at this. It's almost like those times have got a second wind in these dying stages of the race. He's looking to move up another spot. I thought that his race was kind of looking like he was just going to be holding on, but he's not giving up the fight whatsoever. But he's not had a good run through there, and now he might be under danger of being repassed by Batik Faraz. No, Batik Faraz stays behind. Look how close these guys are. 4th to 8th covered by not very much at all. Then it's Dutchman a few seconds back in 9th, but he's comfortably there. And Chris Macker-Jones has moved up into that final points position, created a bit of a gap on Pro Gamer now. Those guys, another two, have been having a really good battle for the second half of this race. Well, it really has been action from start to finish here. Not too many chances for breath. Unfortunately, we haven't had James for the last bit of the race here. Unfortunately, we won't be able to rejoin by the looks of it. But we have seen plenty of action, and I'm sure that he would join us in saying that it has been a cracking race. Tier 1 is going to be getting underway very, very soon, but we've got 1 lap to go here now as Vader starts his last lap. And we could be seeing plenty. This is closer than ever now. 4th to 8th. They're just within about a second, all 5 of them. Absolutely crazy stuff. I think we could be seeing plenty. Podium positions aren't going to change, but I think 4th to 8th could change an awful lot here. Clone Troop defending from Pickless. Batik Faraz looking to get through on Toxic Fusion. He's not going to do that, but Pickless has picked up a time penalty. What a disastrous time to pick up a time penalty on the final lap of the race. He's going to try and make the move on Clone Troop now, but he has 3 seconds of time penalties. Oh, Clone Troop's run it wide. What a disaster. He's lost all the positions. That is gutting. That is absolutely gutting there for the Ferrari driver for Team Shazoo there. He's been holding on to that 4th for so long, and at the dying stages, he's ran it wide and lost all 4 spots. He should move ahead of a few of the drivers who have got penalties, but what a disaster for the Shazoo driver there. PFL Batik Faraz up into 6th now, looking to make it 5th. I think Pickless has got that 4th covered. Let's go back to the leader, because Hero Vader has just crossed the line to win. Tom will be 2nd, Amazed will be in 3rd. Toxic Fusion's picked up a penalty as well. Penalties galore on this final lap here. And what a disaster this could turn out to be. Batik Faraz is going to slot in behind. ESR Amazed is going to complete the podium in 3rd there. 7 seconds back on Tom. But yeah, Pickless has got this 4th place covered. How are penalties going to change it though? It's all been switched up in the last lap with penalties here. So let's see how it goes. But Pickless is going to be 4th on track. Then it's going to be Fusion. Great efforts from those guys. Batik Faraz in 6th. But that drops to 7th. And it is, oh my goodness me, that is completely changed at the line. Imp, who was in 7th, has gone all the way up to 4th. And Clone Troop has gone back up into 5th. Thus was the penalties. So penalties have really changed things up there. Pro Gamer has moved up into 9th. Macker-Jones is all the way down to 12th. Penalties have changed that completely at the line. But what a fight we saw there. And went down to the last lap. A shame for Clone Troop that he's lost that on 4th. But penalties, as I said, have changed up, have saved him. And he has ended up in 5th position there, which isn't too bad. But what a result for Imp. Didn't really make too much progress on the super soft tyres, but stayed close, kept it clean, didn't get any penalties, and took 4th position. A great effort from him, and shows the values of clean driving there. There is Vader, a dominant performance from him to pick up the winner's trophy at the end of the race. What a performance it was from him. He was in complete control, really. A fantastic start to the season for him. Tom in 2nd with 6 seconds of penalties. Yeah, lots of penalties there indeed. ESR Amazed. Ooh, almost had him for 2nd position there, but he was in 3rd. Then it was Imp, as I say, in 4th. 1 penalty for him and Clone Troop compared to 2 for Fusion. And 3 for Batik Faraz, and a few more as well for Pickless. What a shot! Pickless had the stop, the 5-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane, which has cost him there. Yeah, he would have been in 6th had it not been for that. It's Pro Gamer 9th. He moved up definitely because of penalties. Dutchman was 10th. Then it was Glitcher in 11th. Something happened to Macker-Jones at the end. He got some penalties as well. He was down in 12th. Then it was LCR Ben, Hamar Enrique. A shame how his race ended. Then it was Frobo Jobo 1 lap down. And then we had Panther, Fredster, Easty, Goblin, Benzilla on all, unfortunately, DNFing. But there we go. Those are the results. There will also be a point for the fastest lap inside the top 10, which is, out of those Imp. So well done to Imp for that extra bonus point as well for the fastest lap, like in real Formula 1. That is coming for this season. But anyway, that is Tier 2. Deep breath. What a race that was. And in just a couple of minutes, we're going to be getting underway with Tier 1. So, just going to be going off ever so quickly, and then we'll be back for the Tier 1 race in just a couple of minutes. So stick with us, and hopefully it'll be a good race. The commentators for those is going to be Chook Master, and also hopefully Diablo James Baker, can rejoin for Tier 1. But it's been my pleasure to commentate on Tier 2, and enjoy the Tier 1 race.